Aloha and welcome to Restaurants Hawaii on ThinkTech Hawaii. I am your host, Sheryl Matsuoka, the Executive Director of Hawaii Restaurant Association. And today I have two guests. So may I please have them introduce themselves? Richard, could you please introduce yourself?
Yes, this is Richard C., and I'm the CEO of Hawaii Robotics and also the president of HSL Group. Um, I'm in the beef export business for HSL Group, and then we work with the slaughterhouse and also the feedlots and export the beef to Asia. And during the last couple of years, and I've been working with a lot of restaurants in Asia, especially in China. And then I realized that they have a lot of robots, helping their service in cooking and also delivery. So, and in the meantime, the feedlots, we have a super short labor forces to help. That's why I'm kind of working with the manufacturers in Asia to get into this robot business.
Very nice. And Gerald, could you please introduce yourself?
Aloha, Cheryl. My name is Gerald Shintaku, and I'm the Director of Events here at Star Events. We're a division of Oahu Publications, Inc., and we put in a variety of shows throughout the year. This is by far our best show. This is my favorite show, the Hawaii Hotel and Restaurant Show, which is coming up next week. I'm actually running off after this because we're setting up for a career expo that we're having at the Blaisdell Center tomorrow. So we're going to find hundreds of people, hopefully some jobs. We do a senior expo. We do a home buyer show. We do a number of shows that are of interest to the community here in Hawaii. But thank you for having me today, Cheryl.
Oh, thanks for joining us, Gerald and Richard. So today we're giving all of our viewers a sneak peek of the Hawaii Hotel and Restaurant Show, the official trade show of the Hawaii Restaurant Association, the Hawaii Hotel and Lodging, the Hawaii Lodging and Tourism Association, and Star Events. This trade show is free, although it is only open to the food service and hospitality industry. Registration is highly recommended. In 2019, we had over 3,000 people registered, right, Gerald?
Correct, Cheryl. It was a blast. It was our first show and it was a hit.
And how many actually attended at the end? Because 3,000 pre-registered, but we had over 3,000 in that room.
Absolutely. We had a lot of people that walked in that day. I mean, like you said, we suggest people just pre-register so we can make you a nice badge and we can get a good count. But yeah, a lot of people walk in and we encourage you to do that if you don't have time to pre-register.
Yes, and the trade show is on, as Gerald said, March 30th and 31st, 2022 at the Hawaii Convention Center. And, you know, there's so much buzz. I have been receiving so many calls, Gerald, from everyone who's flying in. So tell us where some of the booths, some of them are flying in from different parts of the United States. I heard even Asia.
Yeah, we actually have a company or two coming in from Tokyo, Japan, which is really exciting. This year, we've had so many new exhibitors show interest in our show and actually going to participate that we're so excited. As you mentioned, we have a bunch coming in from the mainland, and then we have a good variety of people just here locally that want to service the hospitality industry and show off what their latest and greatest new product or services that they have. It's wonderful.
It's so exciting. And, it was such a huge success, like you said, Gerald. And how I measure success is the feedback that I get from the people who had booths at the show, Gerald. 2 weeks ago, I had a few speakers on this show. And one of them, who basically said, Michael said, hey, I had some people on my list. I've been calling them, emailing them, never could connect with them. Well, guess what? I'm at the show, which we fondly call the HHRS, the Hawaii Hotel and Restaurant Show. I was at HHRS, and guess who walks up to my booth? The guy who I'm trying to get in touch with. Well, right then and there, he samples his food and places an order right there on the floor. So many deals were being done right there on the floor, which made it even more exciting. So that's why he was one of the first that signed up for a booth, Gerald.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, I just want to remind everybody it's from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the 30th, which is a Wednesday. In fact, it's next Wednesday and Thursday, 9 to 5. And actually, if you come early, we want you to come early. UHA Insurance is actually hosting a continental breakfast from 8:30 in the morning. So if you come early, you can get a free cup of coffee and some Danish and fruits, kick off your day really strong. They're also going to have some entertainment to kind of get you in the mood before you even walk in the doors of the show. So come early, 8:30, it's open. We'll let you do that and then come in the show when it opens at 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Gerald. So, Richard, I am so excited to hear all about what technology you're bringing to our show, because this is your first time being a participant in this show. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your products?
Okay, yeah, we have 5 different robots we'll present in the show, during the show. One is called Adam, which is it's a 2-hands robot. So they can make coffees, hot coffee and cold coffees. And they also can make bubble teas. And very soon they can also get into the cocktails and beers. So it will be very interesting to see, and you guys see the robot with dancing there. And then we have the restaurant delivery robots, so which can serve different tables, and the duration of the robots can last for 12 to 14 hours without charging. So it's pretty much fit for any restaurant use for lunch and dinner and everything. And then they can automatically go back to the charging point if the batteries is out of barrier, lower. And we also have a cooking machines, which can cook for 30 pounds, fried rice, beef barkley, and everything. So that will be another one. And also we have we call it Dusty, which is one charge can clean up 30,000 square foot area. So it's perfect for hotels, convention centers, and also school, that type of cleaning. And they can program it from room to room. You don't need to. So basically you program the map and they can just clean the whole floor by themselves. We also have another interesting robots that can provide a hotel room service. So for example, one customers call from a room and they want a couple of waters, and then the robots just can hop into the elevators and go to different floors and then deliver the bottled water to the customer. So we have a whole bunch of different robots and present in the show. Yeah.
I love it, Richard. I think I need them in my house. It can clean, it can cook, it can deliver. Oh my goodness. So you'll be actually having these robots in your booth showing and demonstrating all of these things that you mentioned.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. That's so exciting. Well, on top of the products, Gerald, we also will be having seminars. So you want to touch base, because education is so critical, especially right now as we come out of this, we're at the endemic. So can you share with us some of the seminars that people can look forward to attending?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Besides that, over 200 booths that we'll have there, we have about 14 seminars. So we'll have 7 seminars each day. They all last about 45 minutes. So it's just to keep you, get you engaged, pique your interest, and then you can always follow up with the speaker if you need more information. We just don't want you to sit there and let it prolong, the topics. But we have topics that are very relevant to today's environment. Food safety is always big. So we have the Department of Health here. We have the Liquor Commission coming in to talk to folks about, how to handle the beverages. We have discussions about the housekeeping. So the Hawaii Lodging and Tourism Group will have their leader on housekeeping talk about inventory control, the evolution of food service. Our big sponsor, Cisco Hawaii, will be talking about the evolution of food service, not only here in Hawaii, but around the world. We have the Small Business Association will be coming in to talk about kickstarting your business in this post-pandemic timeframe. We did good up until the pandemic, and then our world shifted. So these guys are going to bring up to date in terms of how do we cope with it now. We have a career not a career development type of topic, how to manage worry, manage worry, stress, all that stuff from Dale Carnegie. We have, moving beyond masks and vaccines. So a lot of very relevant topics, again, coming post-pandemic, just to get people up to speed on how do you handle this? How do we cope with some of these changes?
Gerald, you've done a fabulous job. Not only a sold out show, terrific educational pieces, because as you mentioned, it's so vital to keep getting information. And I remember in 2019, I attended a few of them, and there were the rooms were packed, standing room only. So I'm looking forward to some of those educational seminars.
Absolutely.
We also are going to be having, both the HLTA and the HRA has educational foundations. So we'll be having silent auctions to support our nonprofit educational foundations. And these foundations are so critical because they support our workforce. They, we look towards the educational foundation to keep educating our future workforce and our future leaders. So we'll be having 2 silent auctions. One HLTA will be manning, and then one the Hawaii Restaurant Association, HRA, will be manning. And we would like to invite anyone who would like to donate an item to the Hawaii Restaurant Association Educational Foundation silent auction to contact me. And my email is info@hawaiirestaurant.org, and we'll give you the instructions on how to send in your silent auction items. So Gerald was so kind to give us a space, right, Gerald? We're having like a few tables.
Absolutely, be right up front, so nobody can miss it. And then Cheryl, let me just add, because before people come down, the big deal with any place you go is, oh, how much is parking? Well, Domino's Hawaii has been nice enough. They're going to sponsor our parking. So you come to the show, you look for the Domino's booth, and they'll take off $2 off your parking. So parking will only be $10 there. And you can get a free sample of pizza while it lasts. So what a deal. Besides looking at all the displays, seeing Richard's robots work in the back, having a lot of, good knowledge, education, you also get $2 off parking. And again, one of my favorite pizzas, Domino's Pizza.
We love Domino's. Domino's, their app is phenomenal. We just ordered Domino's. A shout out to Domino's. We just ordered Domino's on Friday night, and they have this app that shows you where the pizza is and who's baking it and where it is, and it's out on delivery. It's just amazing. So shout out, thank you, mahalo to Domino's. And so, yes, we'll have so many things going on. Gerald, you want to talk a little bit about the no host pauhana, because, being at the show all day, we all get to get to meet each other, but really and truly after the show is when really the conversations start, right?
Yeah, a big part of our show is the networking. Cheryl, you talked about that example of how you saw somebody or met somebody at the show and you connected and there was a true business transaction. That's what our show is all about. It's about transacting business, not just going there to have a free drink or a free cocktail or food. It's about transacting. We want people to come in, look at Richard's robots and say, you know what, I want 2 or 3 of them because it's going to help my business. It's going to help me be more efficient. So after the first day, after Wednesday, we shut down at 5. We'll transition into the lobby area, and we'll just have a real small little pauhana there where people can network. We'll have a few little snacks and beverages there for people to partake of while they're again networking with folks. But we've got so many activities going on at the show. Cheryl, if I have a couple more minutes, can I just expand on a couple of them? So, first, when you first walk in the door, Cisco is going to have 28 booths, 28 food booths there, showing off the latest and greatest in technology and food. So if you come and attend the show, you'll get to see that. We've got the Indonesian Trade Promotion Company of Los Angeles. So they're flying in a bunch of people into our show. They've got about 6 booths where they're going to showcase some Indonesian furniture and some other products. And then you talk about education and being on trend. We've got a company called VegCo. It's a relatively new distributor here in the islands, and they're going to be showcasing their plant-based meats. One of the latest trends nowadays is getting into plant-based meats and foods. So they're going to have a few booths there in our show to sample people that are interested in that. And I just want to make sure that people know, I know we're coming out of COVID and we're transitioning to potentially maskless. ABC Corporation is going to be setting up about 10 of these UVC lights throughout the hall. And these lights are about 98% efficient about killing bacteria and viruses in the air. And then they'll also have a service where if you bring your phone, they have a wipe that can basically clean it, so it's sanitary again. But our emphasis again is not only the education and sharing of product knowledge and services, but also that people have a safe environment to come to, when they come to the show. So it's really exciting. There's so much. I can go on and on, Cheryl. I could probably talk for another 3 more hours, but my battery is going to run out pretty soon, and I'm going to have to plug into Richard's charger pretty soon. So I'll stop here.
Well, Richard, is this going to be the first time in Hawaii that you are showcasing your robots?
Well, yes, actually, the industry is it's kind of brand new in the US, though, in general. So I give you some data. So before April 2020, we had 0 restaurant delivery robots, 0. And by the end of December 2021, it sold 8,000 units. So less than a year and a half, just because of the pandemic. It created over 100 million market dramatically. But you thinking about, you see the comparison of the Asia data, like the China, every year 150,000 delivery robot being sold. So in US market, we only do 8,000 in 1 year. So it's a big gap on and catching up on that. And considering the salary, in China, it's only $600 to $800 per month for majority of the waiters and waitresses. And in here, at least 2,000 to 3,000. There's a minimum for the cost. So we can see the potential of it. So, and also now if you go to like White Castles and IHOPs and Dennis in Mainlands, you're starting to seeing the service robots, even the cooking robots. So I think in the island we're a little bit behind, but we gotta try to catch up. It's a irrevocable change because of pandemic. The unmanned touch requirements and all this forced the change rapidly.
Nice. Now, Gerald, can you touch on a little bit with our mandates being lifted? We don't need to have proof of vaccination to come to our show, correct?
You're absolutely right, Cheryl. So the convention center notified us that, yep, you don't need test results. You don't need your vaccination card. They're not going to take your temperature. So it's going to be a lot easier to come in. And then the masks will be optional. So depending on how you feel, you can either have them on or have them off. But yes, so the restrictions, but again, our emphasis on making sure that this show is safe for everybody who attends.
Very good. And 2 weeks ago, I had Pepsi on this show, and they talked about the reusable water bottles and the sustainability part of it, because Hawaii Restaurant Association, we want to take care of our AINA and really do what's best for our islands. So they talked about sustainability. Sustainability is going to be a big thread that goes through this show, right, Gerald? Because so many vendors are talking about it.
Absolutely. In our press release, we're encouraging everybody to bring their reusable water bottles, and everybody carries them nowadays, because not only Pepsi with their technology will have some good tasting water for us to drink, but there's other companies there that would also be there encouraging people to reuse, recycle, etc. We also have a lot of companies that are coming in about sustainability. Sustainable Island Products is a Hawaii-based distributor, and they're going to be showing off their eco-friendly, compostable and recyclable single-use items. So yeah, the theme is right on, Cheryl. It's all about taking care of our AINA.
Exactly. You know, Gerald, we're all born and raised here, our families, our children. So it's so important. You know, as Gerald knows, when I'm walking around, I've got that pink water bottle strapped to my shoulder. I'm always refilling my pink because I really don't want to create any more, you know, products in our landfill. So, now, Gerald, is there anything else I missed that I didn't speak about? Because, you know, the show is going very quickly here. Is there anything else that we need to have Gerald mention before we wrap up the show?
Well, I'd just like to say one more thing. So if on Wednesday, our show opens on Wednesday at 8 o'clock, but if you're in the neighborhood or you have some downtime, come a little early on Wednesday morning. We'll have a blessing. So we have Kahu Kekuna coming to bless our show and bless all of us. We all need blessing because of all what we've gone through. And then we'll kick off the show with a nice, simple blessing. But I invite everybody and anybody to come at that time to check it out.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Now, Richard, before we close the show, because I want to give you an opportunity to invite everybody over to see those robots. I might take a few of them home with me, right? To clean, cook, and deliver things, right? Is there anything you would like to say and invite people to your booth?
Well, definitely, like a couple years ago, the technology is still not mature as the current, and also the price is kind of high. But right now, pretty much it's very affordable, the price. So pretty much one machine, like you have 4 to 5 months of salary, you will cover the cost. So the machine can last for at least 5 years. And then we have a support team in locally, and we also have a tech support center in mainland to do if you have any technical problems. So we also have a loaner program. So if you have so people are kind of worried that if I have a machine that I lay off some or have less workers, if something happened, then my restaurant will get a close. But no, if something happened for a machine, that we replace it right away, and then you'll be in business less than 2 hours. So you don't need to worry about that. And then just come to the show, enjoy it, and then you'll see the coffee robot dancing for you. It will be fun, and then you see it, enjoy it. Come.
I love it. I love it, Richard. So the Hawaii Hotel and Restaurant Show is the largest showcase of Hawaii's food service and hospitality industry. This show connects the very best in our industry, and I'd like to please put out a request. Please pre-register. It's going to be quicker for you. You don't have to stand in line, fill out a form. You just come into the convention center, pick up your pre-printed badge, and walk right in. I want to also invite all of the Hawaii Restaurant Association members to stop by the Hawaii Restaurant Association booth. We have these ribbons that Gerald was so kindly gifted us. It says, proud member of Hawaii Restaurant Association. You put the ribbon on your badge. Many of the different booths will recognize that. And then if you're a board director, you get also a ribbon saying that you are on the board of directors. So stop by the Hawaii Restaurant Association booth. It's always fun. We also are going to be distributing our members window decals. We'll be laminating business cards so that when you travel, your business card will be in a little lamination. And we'll be just having a lot of fun in our booth. So again, March 30th and 31st at the Hawaii Convention Center. We really invite everyone in our food service industry. This is not open to the public. It is a trade show. So we really encourage people who support our industry also. People who support our industry, financial institutions, payroll companies, all part marketing, advertising companies, all part of the food service industry. So if you support anything to do with the food service, hospitality industry, you are invited to attend, and it's free. So again, Hawaii Restaurant Association is Hawaii's restaurant and food service industry's voice. And again, I'm Sheryl Matsuoka, the Executive Director of HRA. Thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Thank you, Sheryl.
Thank you, Sheryl.
Thank you so much for watching ThinkTech Hawaii. If you like what we do, please like us and click the subscribe button on YouTube and the follow button on Vimeo. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and donate to us at thinktechhawaii.com. Mahalo.